Good morning, everybody. Why don't you everybody just sort of mosey in here and grab a seat. We have an extraordinary day for you scheduled. Did you all enjoy Mr. Kennedy Unplugged last night? Good. Good. So I saw a couple glimpses into what happens inside that dysfunctional mind, of how he sees the world. We have another great day planned for you today, and I just want to go over a couple of things with you. I'm going to have to put my glasses on for this. By the way, it was good seeing my friend yesterday. Did you guys see Bill Rancic here? It's good seeing him. He actually spoke at our very first superconference, right here also in Chicago. And good guy, real smart guy. I mean, as Dan mentioned, so at some point he talked about the first year they were the smartest apprentices, and they really were the first year. That, since that time it's gotten a little bizarre more. The show is more about drama than it is about actual exercises. But Bill is a real bright guy, and Kirsty Frank is also here, another great example of real smart entrepreneur. So in a few moments, I'm going to be with you to talk to you about the opening session, which is recession escape plans. And what you're going to see is a couple things during this, but one of the things you're going to see is sort of this big call out that we did to Glazer Kennedy members. I called out to my peak performer members of my Info Mastermind group, and then I also did a big call out to everybody that's in the whole Glazer Kennedy membership, and told them to send in examples of what they're doing right now, to combat the recession. And everyone has actual results. So you'll see, in most cases, how much it costs to do it, and how much the kind of results that people are achieving. So I think it's going to be a tremendous opportunity to S&D what things that you're looking for to take back with you. After that, Allie Brown will be on the stage, and Allie only pays you guys $20 a piece to do that, and I'm telling you, you can hold out for 50. Okay, so you're selling yourself way too cheap, So Alexandra Brown will be here, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Allie when I bring her up. So, but she is clearly a woman of influence. So you have an opportunity. Actually, Allie is a person of influence, but she can only get women to go woo. I didn't know what you said, but it sounded like it was funny. So then we're going to have, after Allie, we're going to have our lunch break, and then Dan's going to be back on the stage with you, and he's going to talk about the ultimate tool to build credibility for you and your business. And I can tell you that every person needs this ultimate tool, so make sure that you're here in the room for that session. We plan, well, I'm not quite sure what that time, as of right now, we're planning on the lunch break to be at 11:50. That's our plan. Now, give us a 10-minute or so little leeway one way or the other, and then the lunch break, I believe today is an hour and a half. So we'll get started. You'll be told exactly what time we'll get started with Dan Kennedy on session number 3. And then on session number 4, I'll be back with you again on expert position and income breakthroughs, up to date on the business everybody needs to be in. And this is the business, believe me, this is the business everybody needs to be in, which is in the information marketing business. And for some of you that I just said that, your ears just flopped over and says, no, I don't want to be in that business. And I'm telling you that every one of you should be in that business. Whether you make money at it or not is irrelevant, although it is a great business to make money in. But you need to be in that business to help your core business. And as I said to you on Thursday, which seems now, doesn't it seem like a month ago, Thursday? But as I said to you on Thursday, that I'll do like a sort of live makeover in the room, not a makeover, but a demonstration in the room of somebody who's not in the information marketing business and how you can be in the information marketing business, and then we're going to have agreement of why that makes a whole lot of sense. So I don't know who you are yet, but we will be doing that. So just if you want to be that person, just raise your hand when that time comes. And then after that, we'll have session number 5 today, which is how to implement Glaser Kenny marketing in your business. And we get this question a lot, is, how do we, Bill, I know all this stuff works, and I know I got to work hard at it. So what I'm going to be doing is a special session telling you that sort of the way to make it work in your business, sort of the resources, the tools that we make available, and how to sort of systematically get it done in your business so you're not sort of looking for how to make it work. We'll just sort of walk you through that. And then we're going to have our dinner break, and we expect our dinner break to be around 5:40. That's our proposed time to do that. Again, give us a little wiggle room, 10 minutes or 15 minutes, one way or the other. And then we'll be back here tonight for our boardroom scene and closing ceremonies. Also, tonight, all the authors of the book that you all have, the Peak Performers book, how many of you have started reading that book? Good for you all. Yeah. See that we're not working you hard enough. You have time to read, But people, last night at the book signing, people walked up and asked me to sign that book as well, because I have a chapter in that book, and they've been reporting to me just how fabulous that book is. We had a special meeting with our Peak Performer authors Thursday, I think it was Thursday night. Was it Thursday night? And I had commented to them that every author submitted a chapter, and then Dan and I kind of saw the book when it was put together. We wrote chapters ourselves, and we were just ecstatic with the quality of the chapters by the authors. And I'm going to ask the authors to come up here on the closing ceremony. So if you're a Peak Performer author, please be ready to come up here just to introduce yourself, or I'll introduce you. And if you're a Peak Performer author and you're not quite in the room yet, because you're somewhere else doing peak performance, hopefully with your spouse, you will please tell that other person to be here tonight for the closing ceremonies. And then we'll have our boardroom scene, and I can tell you, so here's the deal in this boardroom scene so far. So there's 3 of them, as you know, are competing. All of them, as you know, are extraordinary entrepreneurs. And 2 out of the 3 of them have already come up to me in part of their preparation trying to buy my vote. And we have not yet agreed upon a price. So I'm still a free agent. So I'm just telling the 3 of you, either deliver an extraordinary presentation tonight or increase your offer. So, and that's just my one vote of the 3 of us. So those of you that were in the room last year when the first time we did this, it was just extraordinary. Tonight I expect no less than this. And it's a great, great testament to how you can get so much done in so little time. So all of you that are kind of in the room right now, and you always struggle with, how do I get things done? I know I need to do more, but how do I get things done? You're going to see it right before your eyes. 48 hours, businesses are created. So it's a terrific example of that. And there's some very, very, you'll just be amazed at what people come up with. And you'll also be amazed at how all 3 of them, I would assume, I don't know this for a fact, but I would assume all 3 of them are going to come up with extraordinary presentations, and all 3 will be different. So there's more than one way to be right. And you'll find lots of different ways that you can be right. And then after that, we'll just have we have our raffle drawing tonight. Make sure you bring your raffle tickets with you. Don't forget, every time that you invest in one of the resources or one of the pieces of clothing in the back of the room, make sure that you bring that with you tonight because you need the number on that ticket, and we're going to give away a lot of prizes tonight. All the speakers are giving away prizes, and I'm doing the 2-hour consult as the grand prize tonight. Also, I think that all the cool gifts, the no BS gifts back there, I think you get a ticket for those as well. You get a ticket for books. And so make sure that when you go over there, you check out the no BS spray. I should have had, anybody, can you guys bring me one of every gift up here real fast? Just bring me one of every one up here. Because we've got junk over there that you need, okay? And more importantly, not only do we have junk over there that you need, but we have junk over there that we don't need to carry back. So you need to get our junk, okay? So we got cool junk, So I sound like Frank Kern, just buy my shit. Actually, Frank Kern, I'll tell you about this a little later. He's going to be, you know how Dan Kennedy did Dan Kennedy Uncensored or Unplugged? At our Info Summit, we got Frank Kern to do Frank Kern Unplugged. And that is going to be a real, if foul language is your problem, that ain't for you. Thank you. This is here, good. Yeah. So what do we have? We got, I don't know if we could show it on here. Does this work, guys? Where are we? So this is the official no BS. You know what? Let's try this. The official no BS. You got to have one of these. You get two of them, you got bookends. This over here. This is the no BS mug with all the no BS sayings on it. This is, anybody that doesn't have this must have this. This is the no BS, this is Dan Kennedy bobblehead doll. And many of our members, Lloyd Irving, for example, he sleeps with his every night. Vicki doesn't mind. That's how he gets more done. That's one of his motivators to get more done. Here's the no BS mug with the, what part of no BS don't you understand? And of course, this is, where's Chuck? This is the no BS spray. Chuck is such a good sport, I think. So, and then this one's my favorite one somewhere. This is the no BS, you can't hold it, but this is the moving bull, and it makes noise. So you got to make sure that you get one, and it's still going. It's still going. So you got to have this. You got to take this stuff back. You got kids, all that other stuff that you should have at your home, like kids. Take this stuff back for your people you work with. The no BS spray is a must. To just every time that irritant comes into your office, just spray that son of a bitch. And you'll be real happy. Okay, so was that valuable for you? I guess I could go home now. All right, so let's get our PowerPoint up there. And this is part two. You heard from Dan. Well, day one and part one, this is part two, and this is going to be mostly real examples and real stuff to take back with you, but I first, of course, have to start off before I go into the examples and do a little bit of very, very important teaching. And the first thing I want to talk about is 9 recession rescue strategies. By the way, I think I do these in sort of the, the top 10 list where we do this in reverse countdown, and number 1 is really my favorite. So we'll get to number 1 after we get to the first 9. So the first one is, and this is worth writing down, is identifying the top 5% and top 20% of customers and design products, services, programs, and pricing for them. So invest 80% of your energy in the top 20%, not in the bottom 80%. Now this is really important for all businesses at all time, but it's more important during tough economic times, is to really do this. I see Timothy over there. Timothy Stewart from ROI. ROI, what's Revolution? Okay, I know there's like 2 ROIs out there. Everybody wants to be an ROI, And like Timothy is like my poster guy for this, because he's done this in his business. He's taken his top 80% of his people, and he every month he sends them this unbelievable pile of really good stuff. I mean, one month he sends me this beautiful bouquet of flowers, which people in the office are talking about, Timothy and I now, but other times he sends me great books and audio CDs and things along that lines. He's really figured this piece out. And this is all about, identifying your top 5% and 20% of your customers. And most people will deal in terms of the 80-20 rule, but this is really more than the 80-20 rule. This is the 80-25 rule. So because there is that 5% of really, really top customers, patients, clients that you have to identify things for them. And then there's the 20% of people that you have to identify special things for them. Here's what I can tell you unequivocally. There's 20% of your customers, patients, clients, right now, at this moment, that want more from you. There's 20% of them that want more from you. I know that because that's true in every business. And most people do not figure that piece out. They spend most of their time chasing new customers or developing offers to everybody on their list that goes out to everybody without segmenting the list in order to really identify that. Dan and I will be talking, more Dan than I, but Dan and I will be talking about this a lot tomorrow on the Advanced Direct Mail Day when we talk about high-level list segmentation strategies. But the first thing I would tell you to do is to start slicing and dicing that list and develop different offers and opportunities to the top 20% and the top 5%. Those people will pay you unbelievable amount of money if you make it available to them. Number two is ensure every lead opportunity is being handled and accounted for properly. So is Chris Mullins in the room? Chris, are you here yet today? So Chris does a cool program where she'll audit she'll do secret shopping for your phone. So she has a service where she'll call your company for you, and they'll act as a would-be patient, a customer, a client, and she'll actually record that call, and then she sends you the call, and you listen to how your phones are answered. And what you want to do is immediately after you listen to that, you want to go into the restroom in your office and vomit when you hear that, because it's just, in most cases, it's just terrible how customers are being handled. So what you want to do, and that's just one example, is the phone. There's examples everywhere in your office. And at this time, during tough economic times, it's more important than ever that every lead is being handled and accounted for properly. So you want to get people, either you or others, to act as a prospect to your business and see what happens to prospects to your business and monitor that. You'll be amazed. You could almost double your business by making sure that you fix the holes in the business that is occurred by how leads are being handled. The third thing is devise a strategy to offer your customers more service, special offers, or other incentives to do business with you because of, and this is the important part, because of your relationship with other businesses. See, here's the deal. Let's say you are in the business of providing martial art training. Let's just use that for an example, okay? Well, what happens is you're now a very trusted advisor to your students for people who want martial arts training. But the other thing is you're also a trusted advisor. So people trust you. So what else could you offer your students that maybe isn't your own core product or service, but something else that your students would want? So for example, they might want nutritional supplements. They might want somebody to work with them with healthy eating. They might want someone to help work with them with exercise training outside of what you do within your school. And quite frankly, they might want, if they're most of them have young people, they might actually want to have a service offered to them to help them to be better students and to study better in their regular school curriculum. Lots of things that you could offer them other than just your core thing. But now what happens is they're going to buy this from somebody else. You're better off them buying it from you, where hopefully you can actually do some revenue sharing with them. So now this is a way to make additional streams of income. Plus, they are more locked into you because now you are their source to get this information. So when I look at Glazer Kennedy, for example, we don't just offer marketing strategies. We teach speakers how to be better speakers. We teach people how to be better copywriters. We teach people how to be better in sales. So we have sales programs, and all these are resources we have in the back. We teach people how to be in the information marketing business. We teach people how to be coaches and consultants. It's not just marketing advice. So if you look at our cadre of information that we offer, it's across the board. And then other times we will bring to you people that will teach you how to be better internet marketers. So people like Derek Gill and Russell Brunson and Ryan Dice that we brought to our stage in the last 2 days. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. Oh, and Allie Brown later today. So we bring you other people so that it's not only about what we offer, it's looking out for people that we have relationships with that you can bring to your customers in your business. This is a very, very smart strategy, especially during tough economic times. Number 4 is implement immediate upsells. It was interesting because we were sitting around the Platinum meeting, I guess it was about a month ago in Cleveland, and we were mainly thinking about how do we get out of Cleveland, but we came to a conversation. Is John Alanis in the room yet? John was part of this conversation, and Frank Kern we were chatting about upsells. And it was interesting that we found that when we offer an immediate upsell, 14% of people take our upsells. So it was almost across the board. We were all getting 14%. At the Peak Performers meeting the other night, Jordan, who's the celebrity expert, said that he implemented an immediate upsell to his business. 25% of the people took the upsell. Most people are not thinking in terms of upsells in their business. And this is not about online marketing. This is about if you're a dentist and somebody comes into your dental practice and you tell them what they need, well, there's immediate upsells such as teeth whitening and all this other gobbledygook stuff that you could offer them at the same time. The immediate upsells, and you'll find that historically no less than 14% will be taking the immediate upsell, and as much as 25% of people will be taking immediate upsells. This is one of the smartest ways to grow your business. There's only 3 ways to grow your business. One is to get more new customers. The second is to get the customers that you have to come back more often. And the third way is to increase the transaction size. While the customer is there, to increase what you sell them. So everybody should be figuring out, how can I put an immediate upsell into my business, and upsells throughout. Number 5 is riches and niches. So if whatever the business that you are in, if you can segment out and become the specialist for a niche, you can sell that. You could sell your product or services for a lot more money. So let's stick with, I don't know, well, I mean, a lot of businesses have already kind of figured this out, but like, for example, trying to think, who's, Harry, help me with this, Harry Williams, help me with this. Who's our guy who's elder care? Bill Hammond, thank you. I figured you remember that. So Bill Hammond. So Bill Hammond is an elder care attorney. But he's an elder care attorney that specializes in working with families who have a loved one that their loved one is suffering from Alzheimer's disease. Now, when they come in to see him in his elder care practice, there is no discussion at all in terms of fees. It's like, my parent is suffering from Alzheimer's. I need your help. The fee thing never comes up. He can sell it for whatever he wants. So look at your businesses and figure out how can you niche it down more. And many times you can actually pick out 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different niches and you become the specialist there. It totally takes it out of the price shopping game. Number 6 is communicate more with existing customers. Easier to sell existing customers than new customers. Well, this is like, this is really like marketing 101, to communicate with them more. And the reason why I say this to you now is because this is sort of a recession rescue conversation that we're having, is more people get this wrong now. See, what they do right now is during tough economic times is they figure out, let me figure out how I can get more new customers. And I'm not telling you not to figure that out, But what I am going to be telling you is it's smartest to go back to your existing customers and figure more often now to get them to utilize your products and services more often. I'm going to be showing an example in a few moments from Chris Bowman, is a dentist, and how he's been doing this in his dental practice with extraordinary results. Every one of you should be doing it in your business to communicate more often with existing customers, not less often during the tough economic times. Number 7 is don't emotionally throw in the towel. I kind of mentioned this on Thursday, and a lot of people sort of do this, which again, they're sitting on that park bench in the front of their offices, talking to their neighbors, explaining to each other that they're not doing anything. They've emotionally thrown in the towel. See, when this whole recession thing kind of like ends and we start moving to what Dan has called the emerging new economy, which I'll talk to you about that a little bit later, there's going to be a lot less competition for you all. The survivors will be stronger, and they'll not only be stronger, but there'll be greater opportunity for them. However, the people that emotionally throw in the towel, they will not survive. They won't. So the people that are waiting for things to come back to the way they were before, the things are not going to come back to the way they were before. They're going to come back, and they're going to come back probably better than ever, but they're not going to look like they looked before. So if you emotionally throw in the towel, you won't be around to survive. And then the next one is implement if you can, and this is, I talked to my Info Mastermind members and Platinum members yesterday about this on a little private closed door session we had, and this was one of the things I discussed with them, which is this whole issue of implement, pain, to disconnect. And if you can do this in your business, if you can become the utility company to your business, so what's the one bill that you'll make sure that you pay during tough economic times? You pay your gas and electric bill because you can't have anybody turn off your electric, right? You pay your internet provider because you can't have everybody turn off your internet. You got to figure out what you can provide to people right now that they can't turn off. And that makes you more valuable to them. If you can figure this out, you have the keys to the kingdom. So it's what can we add to our business that is a pain of disconnect? In most businesses, this requires a great deal of thought. In some businesses, it's easy to identify. But my last one, and it's number 9, it's probably my favorite one. And I'm often horrified when I hear Glazer Kennedy members not embrace this. And a lot of times they kind of walk around with their chest out, being proud of the fact that they don't embrace this. And this is nothing that I have never embraced, and it's nothing that Dan Kennedy has never embraced. And number 9, what you really have to do now more than ever is you got to work. And people walk around and say, I don't do any work. I just work 2 hours a week, and I have my assistant do this and my this person do that. And this is a time to work. Mark Victor Hansen says most people don't work. And this is a time to work. It's in my Info Mastermind groups, when we've been sitting around and masterminding on people's businesses, I am thrilled to see my Info Mastermind members willing to do things now that they weren't willing to do before. And that's the right attitude, is now you've got to roll up your sleeves and you've got to work harder. And that's okay. And that will make you better entrepreneurs. So if you're not willing to work, I don't think it's going to work out for you. All right, so those are my top 9. Let me show you some actual examples, okay? So here's the very first one. I kind of like this. This is, I think I call this referral marketing, but I really shouldn't call it referral marketing. I should really be calling this finding the hidden business within the business. So here's our Diamond member, Sherry Hardy. And Sherry was supposed to be here. She was devastated. She called the office right before we left, and she just couldn't make it because she had a little family emergency. But she is in the business of teaching young people how to be better, sort of helping them with learning. And what she figured out was this, is that she could offer to other people sort of quasi, and I'll use this word, although it's really not a true franchise, sort of franchises her business where other people could learn in their own areas how to teach young people how to be better students. And so she offered this, and she did it. Look how she did it. She sent out a postcard to people that raised their hands, said they were interested in this information, and then she followed it up with a letter, and the whole thing cost her $282. So let me go back here. Postcard, letter, $282. And when she called the office, she said so far she's generated $19,608 in business. This is all about now, so the question is what do you do? What do you do? And is there a business hidden in your business where you could teach other people what you do? And in this case, she actually went to other parents that she taught their kids. That was her group that she mailed to. So, now that you've seen what this can do in terms of changing your child's life, would you like to change other children's life and be in business with me? So she did the Be in Business with Me opportunity. $282 so far has generated $19,000 in new business by not only continuing to do her core business, but figuring out the business that's hidden inside the business. Here's Dr. Chris Bowman. I mentioned, is Chris in the room? Chris. Chris led one of our tables last night, which was professional practices marketing. And Chris is a dentist, and he does an extremely good job in his office. And what he did was he sent out this economic stimulus package to previous patients. Now, what's really valuable about this is what's called entering the conversation that's in their head. So what are people thinking about? They're thinking about the economy. So he entered the conversation with his hand. He actually sent out an economic stimulus package, which was nothing more. This is the front and back of a postcard. That's all he did. Front and back of a postcard. You can see that he did a really good job with it. On one side, he had what appears to be a check. On the other side, he has a handwritten note that he sent out to his previous patients. I like the little thing. When you look at direct mail, there's a lot to be said for the little things. What's one of the little things here I liked? I like the little American flag on the top of the return address. I think that's kind of cool. It has a little patriotic theme to the whole thing. And on this thing here, he spent $864 sending it out to previous patients, generated $20,400 in dental care. This is about entering the conversations in people's head. As you can see, I'm showing you low-cost stuff that you can do with getting extraordinary results. Now, Ron Ipack, I did see Ron this morning. Is Ron in the room? Where are you there? So Ron, just stand up for a second. There's Ron. So Ron's in the business of providing coaching and training programs to people in the automotive industry. And Ron goes around the country right now, and he does seminars for auto repair shop owners. Actually, you're doing one here tomorrow, aren't you? Right. In this hotel? Yeah, boy. So he's doing one for local auto repair. So, like, if any of you, by the way, drove here, you can get your car tuned up while you're here tomorrow. You can get new brakes on, whatever you need. Okay. And so now Ron does a complete campaign, and so this is part of a total marketing campaign. It includes 2 sales letters, 2 postcards, 3 faxes, 1 voice broadcast. And also, and part of this is faxing. Thanks, Ron. Part of it is faxing. And I show you this because I don't want you to think that he sends out just faxes and he generates $147,000 in business. It's part of a campaign that cost him $17,997. But I show this to you because faxing, when done legally, is a very low-cost marketing strategy that you should think about how to use in your business. Now, I say this loud and clear, when done legally. There's legal ways to do it, and there are illegal ways to do it. So whenever you do it, just make sure you check with the fax laws. You could check with an attorney to give you advice whether you're doing it legally, or else oftentimes the companies actually will do the faxing for you. They will give you advice on what is legal and what is not legal. But I tell you to be careful with it, but at the same time, it's a low-cost strategy that can still be used under the right set of circumstances, and you should be using it. Now, another guy, is Dan Cricks in the room? Danny? There you go. Stand up, Danny. Danny is a guy who teaches all repair shop owners marketing also, okay? And so here's what his guys was once. Ron's guys fix your car. His guys come back and they'll fix it again for you. Okay, so Dan, when he was working with a client that was not doing pretty good, and he told him, he said, "Listen, let's just do a voice broadcast." And this is the actual script that he gave his client to send out to his his previous customers. This is all about going back to previous customers. And the first week, so the investment was, listen to the investment for this went out to 550 previous customers. The investment to send out the voice broadcast was $30.56. That's cheap media using voice broadcast. Again, you can legally do this and you can illegally do this. He did it legally under the voice broadcast laws. He followed what he could do. And the first week, 27 people responded, spending $8,674. The second week, an additional 28 people responded, spending an additional $24,400. Not a bad return on an investment of $30.56 using voice broadcast, low-cost marketing strategies. This one, I don't know, is Alice Mishika, one of our vendors in the room? Alice, going once? There you are. So Alice, she's with a company called Specialized Mailing Service. I actually did a gold call with Alex, I think it was last year. Is that right? And Alice, she does a lot of really cool things, but she does, is this the P4 process, right? Part of the P4 process. So if you want, this is like P1. So if you want to get P2, 2, 3, and 4, go see Alice, okay? But this is a really cool thing. This is a pre-sorted stamp that you put on an envelope. So this is not first class. This is pre-sorted stamps that you put on an envelope. And what she has is some kind of special whiz-bang situation with the Postmaster General. She and the Postmaster General like this. You know, they go out to dinner together and other things I won't even get involved with. And she has figured out a way to do a print over the stamp so it looks like it's canceled. So now it makes it look like it's first class. So that whole thing that's printed on top of the stamp. And then on one of our calls, I said to Alice, you know, what increases response rates is multiple stamps. So she's figured out a way to do now multiple pre-sorted stamps as well. And this is, so it looks like first class, but it's not first class. So a first class stamp is 42 cents. In this particular case, if you are mailing to a local area where people are in the same, you know, I guess, is it zip or is it zip plus 4? Just zip. If it's just zip, it's 19 cents to mail this out instead of 42. And if you're going out of your zip code, it's 25 cents. So the difference between 42 and 25 cents is pretty dramatic. And if you're doing a lot of mail, if you're doing 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, just think of all the money you save with this. Of course, the other thing that Alice does, which is really cool, this is like a little infomercial for Alice, but the other thing Alice does, which is really cool, is see the handwritten font? I mean, that is not a real handwriting, although I think you can do real handwriting as well, but this, not anymore.
No, you can handwriting on envelopes, but you can't do both.
Okay, so this is actually a font that looks like it's handwritten. So when you get this sent to your house, it looks like a friend is sending you direct mail. And this gets through the clutter of advertising. This is now, this is going to be in your A pile because you're going to open this up, because what kind of mail do you open up? You open up mail that a friend sends you out as opposed to advertising. So it's a very, very cool thing. And so that's Alice Mishikas from Specialized Mailing Service. This one here, I don't know, did Donna Kretsch make it in this morning yet? Donna, you in the room? One of my Info Mastermind members. So Donna uses these bags. So I'm telling you about this because this is point of sale advertising. Point of sale. This is like really cheap advertising. When I was in the retail business, I was always thinking about point of sale. What could I do while I am communicating with the customer? So what did Donna do? She went out and she bought lunch bags in bulk, and then she just printed up this thing called Your New Body is in the Bag, and she stapled it on there, and then she hands it out to prospects at various places. So let me just read you. The campaign is to sell fitness and weight loss, a CD with instructions for people to stand stark naked in front of a full-length mirror with a bag over your head with 2 holes cut in it so you can see yourself. If you like what you see, great. If you see bumps and bulges, you are instructed to take the bag off and call their fitness solution. I think that deserves a hand for creativity. So, I mean, that's just great. I mean, even if you never put the bag over your head and stand stark naked, you immediately got this vision in your mind, and who you going to call? I mean, so this is. I mean, you can't get much cheaper than this. This is a bag, and the return on investment is just like huge for doing things like this. So thinking about what can you do when you're in the person-to-person contact to make yourself stand out from the others. This one here is from Terry Bryan. Again, I want to show you more stuff than just direct mail, as you can see. And this is door hangers. And door hangers can still be used legally. You just have to check. All sort of local areas have their own local rules and regulations for this. But this is just now hiring high school kids, college kids. There are also services that go around and actually will put door hangers on people's doors for you. And when appropriate, when you are doing marketing in geographic areas, this is real smart. So like, for example, if you're in the landscaping business, if you're in the roofing business, you're in the window replacement business, if you are the local auto repair shop, in this particular case, this is a guy that's looking to buy homes, so he's in the real estate investing business. This is a smart, low-cost media to use in your business if you can legally do it in the area that you're in. So this is from Diamond member Terry Bryan. This one here is from Info Mastermind member Dr. Chris Tomchak. And Chris is a chiropractor that provides a chiropractic franchise. And so he creates marketing materials for his franchises. And this is one of the things that I teach so much and not enough people pay attention to, which is all about bringing back lost customers, patients, or clients. All of us have these in our business. People that we've done business with before, but for whatever reason have not come back and bought from us in the time that we would want them to come back and buy from us. So the question that I have for you all is, what is the frequency that you want that your customers should be buying from you? If I'm a dentist, what's the frequency that my patients should be coming back? If I'm in the martial arts business, what's the frequency that my students should be coming back to me? And if they stop coming back, at what point are they now considered to be lost? And there is real gold in everybody's business to go after these people. I've often said these are the third easiest customer to get to come back to your business. And in Chris's case, now this is not... this is sending out a boomerang in the mail, and I believe that the 3D mail guys have boomerangs. Do you have boomerangs? Yes? Yep. So the 3D mail guys have boomerangs. If they don't, they'll go out and get them. And this is, it's a cool thing. You send out a boomerang. This is in a clear plastic envelope that goes, so you see the boomerang when it's in your mailbox. Dear missing patient, we want you back. And this is $2.20 a piece. And again, the return on investment on this is just huge because the transaction size in the chiropractic office, he brings a chiropractic patient back, it's usually in the several thousands of dollars per patient. This one here is from Peak Performer member Karen Campbell. Karen, you in the room? Where are you? Hey, Karen, stand up. So Karen is in the business of, I'm going to mess this up. You stand up. You can stand up longer. I know. Huh? You don't want to stand up? Now stand up. So you market to terriers, right? Terriers. Terriers? Scottish terriers. So very, very, you talk about niching. Very, very targeted niche. So Karen heard Dan on a CD say something along the lines of, if you're in the catalog business, what she basically is in the catalog business, and one of the things that's real smart is to do a stripped-down version of your catalog and go to lost customers. Now, Karen is one of those rare people that are in the room that actually does things when she hears them. So she heard this, and she created this little mailer. It's a very, very stripped-down version of a mailer, sent out to lost customers as what she called a partial calendar, mailing to 487 previous customers she would normally delete after they had already been through a lost customer reactivation campaign. So these people already had been through a multi-step campaign, and now most people, when they would put them through a campaign, they would throw them away. She kept them, and she sent out a partial catalog comprised 7 of her best-selling and most attractive cards. It included an order form with no discount offer, so she didn't even discount at all. She just her regular offer, and out of that she got 28 responses, generating another $508.33 in additional profits after mailing and produced calls. Now, if you can see something that's interesting about this, you're looking at this and saying, gee, she invested more than she generated. But she also has to understand, which she does, the lifetime value of now this customer. So many times you can run a business very, very profitably on lifetime value. So she got dead customers, she dug them up, she resuscitated them, and now she has the opportunity to continue to market to them. Okay, this one is from one of the most brilliant marketers of all times, and and humble. And so this is all about use unobvious holidays to cut through the clutter. I think this is actually in the holidays manual, which, by the way, they told me in the back there that some of you who have your certificates, have not turned them in yet for your celebrities promotions manual we put together. It's free with your certificate. And also, you also have CD packets to pick up. So if you haven't used your certificates, all the primary registrants got these certificates. On one of our breaks, go over there and see these folks, and they'll give you your freebies. You definitely want that celebrity manual. It turned out extraordinary. So this is from one of our holiday manuals we put down using holiday marketing. And I'm a huge believer in holiday marketing. As a matter of fact, in the back of my book, Outrageous Advertising, I have a special section back there which shows a different holiday that you can use for almost every day of the year. Some of them are really funny holidays. And this one was a holiday that I used every 4 years. I wish I could have used it every year, but I used it every 4 years in my menswear store, which was a Leap Day promotion. And so basically it's a promotion where he said, you know, every 4 years we get free rent because it doesn't cost us anymore. On the 29th day, the landlord doesn't charge us anymore. And because we're getting free rent, we're passing that savings on to you. So I gave them this discount that they could come in for my store. And I spent $3,600 on this, and you can see I generated $77,000 in sales on just coming up using holidays, because it's on people's minds. People are thinking holidays. People are thinking of going from the next holiday to the next holiday to the next holiday. And you can also create your own holidays, which in the holiday promotions manual, you'll see so many people that sort of created really cool holidays. This one comes from Gold Luxury member Sue Johnson, who actually, we got Sue through my original BGS marketing system came to us. She owns a ladies' store down in Florida. And this is one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. I really loved it, so I thought I'd share it with you. She sent this out around the holidays, and this was not, she did not mail this to her customers. She mailed this to the spouses of her customers, telling them that they could come in, she actually mailed them a gift certificate. She told them to fill out the amount that she wanted to give, for them to give their spouse a gift certificate for the holidays. Just call the store. They would activate the gift certificate for them. Couldn't be easier. And as you can see, she spent $1,159 to do this mailing to the husbands of her customers, and she generated $8,700 in sales. Very, very creative marketing. Very smart. A lot of people don't think enough about how can I not only sell to my customers, but how can I sell to other people that they can buy for my customer. I like this one. You like this one? I like this. This is really cool. This one is from a peak performer member, Howard Anderson. Where's Howard? There he is. Where he is. Stand up, Howard. Howard is showing off his brand new hairdo. And which those of you, I don't think it's out yet, but in next month's, I don't think it's out yet. Did I show you all yet the Howard shaved his head piece? Did I show you that? So he is the male model for the shaving his head marketing piece. And this is something, and now Howard joined our Peak Performers group, and there's a lot of good traits about Howard, but one of the best traits about Howard is I can pick on him a lot, and he's like really good about it, you know. And so when Howard joined our Peak Performers group, now the original member, right? Original member, 3 years now, right? So, and he first, he strutted in the very first day, and he showed me his marketing stuff, And he's a new member. I want to be nice to him. I don't want to piss him off yet. I look at it. I don't say anything, but I'm looking at it, and it's horrible. So I don't didn't say much about it. Then later on, we brought him up in front of the room and we gave him a makeover. But now he's like doing really, really good stuff. And one of the things that he does really well, and many things he's doing well now, is he created this campaign which he sent it out to and he's in the business of selling vacuum cleaners and sewing machines. And he sends it out to people. Now, when you think about people that normally buy sewing machines and vacuum cleaners, you think that they don't need to buy any more right away. This is a big mistake. This is an immediate upsell strategy. So he went out to his customers and sent them out a thank you piece, thanking them for their business almost immediately after they buy. He sent out this campaign to 234 people, to customers who have made a recent purchase. Now, in this letter, because he soaks all this in this letter, he includes one of these things right here. Now, I don't know if can you zoom in on this, any guy? Is there a camera guy? Can you zoom in on this? Okay, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to actually show you a video of it. This is a pen, okay, and this is what happens. Watch this thing.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much.
And so this is a pen that says thank you so much. I guess I have a little hand for Howard Anderson there. And $841, and he generated $9,122. Got 44 people to respond. These are people that you would think normally would never respond right away. 44 people respond, which is sort of my 14% upsell rule. Very, very smart marketing. Make yourself the expert. So here's a little collage of some of our members' books. So let's see who I got here. I don't know if I can read from there. On my left, I think I got Peter Holtz's book. He's a CPA. Steve Clark, one of our independent business advisors, who's a sales and persuasion expert. That's his new book. Our Peak Performers book, all of you have that. Next one is from, whose book is that? Is that Ben Glass's, right? Ben Glass's book, which he co-authored that book with Dan Kennedy on the Ultimate Success Secret, so if you want to co-author a book. And then the next one is Mike Capuzzi's book, which he created like an anthology book. And an anthology book, like the Peak Performers book, there's multiple authors in the book where everybody becomes an expert. This is one of the smartest things that you can do for your business, is somehow either have a chapter in a book that you're associated, or your own book that you write. One of the things that you really want to do during this time is you want to make yourself the expert, and the quickest way to make yourself an expert is to be an author. So, very, very smart strategy to be doing. This one here is from Diane Coughlin and Gail Sassine. Sassine. How you say it? Sassine. See, I know how to say it right. I don't know if you do. So they work with people to help them do their marketing. This particular campaign, she worked with fellow Peak Performer member Bill Goff, which I finally figured out how to say his name right. And this is a really cool thing. They had actually S&D'd this for me. They are really good at stealing stuff of mine, and so they stole this from me. This is a mailing that I created some time ago, which is a cardboard box, City Blue. Is it City Blue? I know City Blue and City Print, one of them actually will do this. They get the cardboard boxes and they cut it out for you, put a packing slip on it, and you send it, put a sales letter inside. And this was a campaign they sent out to 51 people. It was very, very targeted. And I'm not sure that I think the results are correct. They got 2 sales out of it, and the 2 sales generated $2,000 in tuition registration to come to a live event. And then, of course, when people were there, they also invested in a lot more while they were there, which, by the way, is a very important lesson for you about going to live events. It's very important that you invest in a lot of other things while you're there. Thank you. Thank you. Obviously, you're not clapping, but they're clapping. So these are the good investors. So very, very, very sharp piece, getting through the clutter in the mailbox. So this one here is from really one of my heroes. I wish Greg was going to be here, but he's going to be at the outrageous workshop and academy that I'm doing in January in Orlando. And if you've been a Glazer Kenny member for some time, you've been watching Dr. Greg Nielsen. He's in the chiropractic industry. He lives in a very small town I mean, I think there's only like 14,000 people maybe in that town. And he dominates that whole town. And he creates the most wonderful marketing materials. And I've copied a lot of his stuff. So the same way Gail and Diane copy my stuff, I copy his stuff. So sometimes they copy my stuff. They think it's my stuff, but really it was his stuff. So it all comes around. The funniest thing that ever happened, I'll tell you, was 10 years ago. This is a true story about S&D. And 10 years ago, Michael Kimball was sitting in a platinum meeting, and he showed everybody this small little under-ounce mailer that's created out of newspaper print. And if you can mail it under an ounce, you can save on postage. And he passed it around the room. And a lot of us, Ron Ipack, myself, Roy Fatt, we all S&D did it right away. And we started using it for our own niche businesses. And so now, 10 years, fast forward, somebody passes it around the table. Michael Kimball's there. He looks at it and says, gee, this is great. I got to do this in my business. So he forgot he was the original father of the piece. So anyway, so Greg Nielsen, he's a great person to S&D from. And this is what he sent out 100 4-page sales letters with a rubber band attached, 3D to previous patients. Why did he attach rubber band? He wanted to make it dimensional. He wanted to give us some lumpiness to it. And so pretty much, this is not a hard set rule because a lot of it depends on the weight of the paper, but pretty much you can get, did you know there was no photography? Pretty much you can get a under an ounce, for 4 pages for under an ounce in a letter. So you pretty much get that done. And so this is, now again, it depends, but I usually, when I write sales letters for myself or for clients, I'm sticking to this 4-page rule and I just use the right weight of the paper. And so this is what happened. This is the 4-page sales letter. It has a rubber band attached to it, so you can see Dr. Nielsen is not about spending a lot of money. He invested $5,000 in sending these things out and generated him $225,000 in new patient work. Of sending out a 4-page sales letter with a rubber band attached to it. And he got a 17% response. Now, which is why I like 4-page sales letters, because 4-page sales letters usually allows me to tell my entire story. And just a little bit of a glimpse into the psychology of me writing a 4-page sales letter. When I do it, I make my lists. And my lists are all the reasons why somebody would want what I'm offering. And I also make the list of all the reasons why somebody would not want what I am offering. And now, with 4 pages, I can bring up every reason why somebody may not buy and overcome the objection. Because if you don't bring up the objection and overcome it, there's a very good chance they will bring it up in their mind, and their rationale for it is not getting to the result that you want. Their rationale for it is not to buy. So that's why I like 4-page sales letters. It gives me enough space to do both, to give reason why copy to buy, to give all the benefits and features, and also to overcome objections. Okay. This is from, I don't know if Peter's here. I don't know if I saw Peter. Is Peter in the room? Peter Holtz. He's a peak performer member. And Peter, he's in the business of offering tax advice. So he's about as interesting, and he'll tell you, he's about as interesting guy as watching paint dry. I mean, he just, but he'll tell you that. I mean, he doesn't make any bones about it. He's a really nice man. He's in our Peak Performers program. He's actually a Peak Performer Plus member. And he created a campaign. Now, this is part of a campaign, but I'm showing this for a reason. And he sent out press releases to gain free publicity for his bailout blitz. And in his bailout blitz, let me see, it was an entire campaign. He included mail, he did outbound phone, he did press releases. And the reason why I'm showing you this is his press release on one side that he did, and on the other side is the actual story that he got about in the local paper. And you can get a lot of local stories. So I know that Paul Hartunian spoke with you yesterday, for those of you who were in his room. And this is easy to get. When I was in the menswear business, I got over 18 press hits a year for my menswear business by just following this formula of sending out press releases. And overall, this campaign, he got 25 people to attend one of his live events. He eliminated 4 of them himself because they didn't qualify. He had 3 of them already sign up. 6 more were on the way. And so far, his revenues were $28,700. And that was with 6 more appointments that he hadn't yet made. And his investment was $5,500. Now, for some of you, $5,500 might be a lofty investment. And what I would tell you is this, is you have to do what he did, was look at the average value of your customer. So here's my question for you, and for some of you, this might be worth writing down. My question for you is this, is how much is a customer worth to you? How much is a customer worth to you? How much is a student worth to you? How much is a patient worth to you? How much is somebody worth to you? And then the follow-up question to this, which is the one which most people cringe at, is what are you willing to spend to get that person? And in most cases, clients that I work with, and this is oftentimes one of the early questions that I have in a consulting day with somebody, is going through these questions. And clients that I work with are way underspending to get the result that they want. And if you're willing to spend what you should be to get that result, it makes the job of your job infinitely easier, because even if you are not a great copywriter, so if you can't write copy like I can write, even if so, if you can spend enough, you can make impact. So money helps. And so without money, you're really, really in a tough situation. Okay, this one now, Susan's. Where's Susan? Get a mic to Susan. Actually, Susan, maybe you can grab that mic. Susan, have you ever been in front of a mic before? Never? Yeah. Let's and grab a mic and come on up here with me, which is scarier. So, Bill, is that going to work? Is it turned on? No? Is the button on the bottom on? Hit it.
Okay.
Is it on?
Can you? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So first of all, Susan is a famous voice personality. So just to give everybody their Susan Berkeley fix, give them the voice of AT&T. Go ahead.
Thank you, Bill, for using AT&T.
So she's the voice that you hear. And that was with no practice, right? So anyway, so Susan is the winner of our contest. We had a contest to see who's sent me in the one that I thought was the best. And this was, and we had one judge of this, me. And so Susan's our winner. And so I'm going to maybe just sort of show the campaign. We did not rehearse this as normal. No. Okay, so I'm going to show the campaign. So your objective was to fill 24 seats to your $24.97 per person boot camp, right?
For voiceover talent.
And you sent out a series of 3 mailings comprising 2 postcards and 1 sales letter.
Right.
Is that correct? And then here's a postcard, and here is some of your other pieces that you created, a little collage of your other pieces that you created, right? And why don't you, I don't know what I have on the max. Okay, I have my results. So let's go back. So talk about the campaign, talk about everything you did.
Okay, so what happened was when the economy started to tank, we got really scared about our boot camps because they're the core of our business. We do 4 or 5 of them a year. So I thought, okay, desire trumps recession. I know we had a product that people love. They want to get into voiceover. But they started to get really scared with all this recession stuff last fall. So I thought, okay, let's do a 1-day sale. And I just invested a little money in 2 really ugly postcards, these postcards. And all of a sudden, half the seats sold out, which gave me more marketing money to use to follow up with a sales letter. And so at that same time, Dan, I don't know if you guys remember, put out a call in the newsletter to use your pets in marketing. You guys remember that? So if you go to the next one, you'll see. What I did was I did a sales letter from my dog, Duchess. Now, Duchess is with my ex-husband, and I paid dog support to him.
All right. So wait a minute. So for a couple of you in the back of the room that didn't catch that, this is a really important part. So Susan is divorced. Susan, you live in New York, right?
I live in New York. My ex is in California.
He's in California.
Yeah.
And they figured out the divorce. and the husband got the dog, but she got dog alimony. So she pays for the dog being in California. So this is a good thing.
So I built a whole sales story around that, and saying that a letter for I needed to support the dog, but I don't want I was going to donate money to North Shore Animal League from this whole campaign, and then we did a follow-up letter actually from the dog, and then we did voice broadcast because we do voiceover from the dog with a character voice of the dog, and lo and behold, the boot camp sold out. So since that time, you want to show the results?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But the really important thing for everybody to remember is that desire trumps recession. So if you can give them an excuse to buy with either a one-day sale, and then I also threw the charity thing in, which Dan talked about as well, which we would do a contribution to the North Shore Animal League, we had really good results. So we invested $8,952. We sold 50% of, and this $8,000 came after we made the marketing money from the one-day sale, and then I got the courage to invest more in a direct mail campaign, like you said. And we sold 50% of the seats from the first 2 postcards and the remaining seats from the follow-up sales letter, and had people on the waiting list for the next boot camp, which is completely sold out in the next one-day sale. And the ROI was huge, $486,000, and then for 186%, and then with back-end coaching, 989%. So this was awesome.
Yeah. So, and then, as you can see here, she had another mailing prepared, and she canceled it because she sold out all of her seats. But you did put people into a waiting list for the next boot camp, if I'm not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, been terrific. So, a great example of a multi-step campaign, and also a great example of adding more personality into your marketing. And in this particular case, the dog. And people, people would much rather hear from your pets than they would like to hear from you. So I'll take my microphone now. Thank you. Let me see what else I got for you. Okay, this is another one from a brilliant marketer that was submitted. I like showing you this because this is one of my favorite mailings right now. And this is, I don't know, is this, for some of you, are you seeing this for the first time? So, who here is seeing this for the first time? Okay, because I mailed this out to members, I think, last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I was in Santorini. We were in Santorini, Greece, right? I was with my brother-in-law. So we're walking by, and we see these donkey rides that go up the mountain. So I go up to this gentleman who speaks Greek, which I don't, and I said to him, I just want to get a picture of me on the donkey. I don't want to go up the mountain. And he says, okay, and so I gave him money, and he puts me on the donkey. Next thing I know, I'm running up the mountain. And then my whole family is screaming, no, bring him back, bring him. And he had to run up to get me down the mountain. So we took this picture of me on the donkey, which is, I'll be going through a lot of this about how to do outrageous advertising in your marketing, but one of the things that I always talk to you about is always prepare for an outrageous moment. So always carry a camera with you. And so this particular, a lot of stuff, we're somewhere, Karen and I are traveling somewhere, I see something, I say, hey, let me take a picture of that, And so always be prepared for an outrageous idea. In this particular case, and I thought, in this particular case, I thought the headline was particularly appropriate, don't you? Which one is the bigger ass? So this is a CD mailing. I worked it out with my friend Steve. Is Steve Harshbarger in the room? Steve from City Print? I don't know where Steve is. Steve is a brilliant guy. If you ever have an idea of how to mail something, just send it to Steve, and Steve will figure out how to do it effectively for you. And what I wanted to do was, I've been seeing that more and more better response if I can include with my mailing audio. So I went to the Direct Marketing Association conference, and I saw there was a lot of vendors there that were offering CD mailings, but they had CD, but they didn't have the opportunity to also have sales letter. It was just CD. So I wanted to combine both. So this is sort of the inside. The back of this mailer, the CD fits in it, and then there's a little booklet. I don't know if I have it. Nope, I don't have it. So there's a little booklet in there of pages that I can actually write a sales letter. So it's a combination of a printed sales letter and audio CD. Now we used this mailing for our superconference last year, as you can see. And there was $1.88 a piece to mail this baby out. It includes the cost of the CD. So the total cost for us was $17,662. We sent it out to a segmented portion of our list, which is why some of you may not have seen it. And it generated $86,000 in additional registrations for us. And this was very, very late in our funnel. So I really like this mailing piece where you have a CD and a sales letter, because if some people don't read, other people will listen. This one here is from Mike Crow. Is Mike in the room? Mike? There's Mike Crow. Mike Crow is an Info Mastermind member. He especially is to people in the home inspection industry. He's like the home inspection guru. And Mike is doing a lot of teleseminars in his business. Now, I'm only going to show you a little bit of his stuff. When you're doing teleseminars, you really want to think in terms of campaigns for teleseminars. Michael Cage, who will be one of our speakers at our Info Summit, is sort of the resident go-to guy for teaching you how to do teleseminars and webinars today. He's also an Info Mastermind member in the same group as Mike is in. He's in your group, right, Mike? Yeah. And so Mike is doing a lot of teleseminars, and this is a very smart strategy for you to be doing in your business. And Mike sends out invitations to come to his teleseminars. He sends out reminder emails. And on this particular one, he sent out to 578 people. He got 32 new members for his business. Each member has a value of $3,500, so it was $114,000 in additional revenue he made off of one call just with 32 new people that he got to sign up. And I'm telling you that people can be doing teleseminars and webinars on their local level, not only on the national level as well. This one here, this is one of our S&D examples of the month. You guys like the new S&D envelope that we sent out? So that's our new rendition, so that you guys, all you need to do is just to get one of those a year that you use, and that obviously more than gives you value for your total membership. And we've got some really cool things coming up that we're showing each month. And this one we've shown already, which is our Pearls postcard. For those of you who here in the room does not know what a Pearls, who does not know what a Pearls postcard is? You liars, you. So we have two people over here honest. So Pearls postcard is where you have a URL with the recipient's name in it, where the appearance is that you created your own special website or URL for them. And it significantly increases response. And this is one that I created from my rusty old typewriter. I have one, and actually, by the way, just in case you're curious, I actually do have a rusty old typewriter. That was my mother's typewriter. It's in the Glazer Kennedy offices. If you came to the Glazer Kennedy offices, you would see it. However, none of you are invited to come to the Glazer Kennedy offices because we're all busy working. But in my next postcard, I'm actually showing a picture of my rusty old typewriter that I got from my mother. And send this out, dirt cheap postcards. Now, we sent this out for our Info Summit. It dropped July 22nd, 2008 to 8,356 of our members. And when you did it, it took you to this, when you put in your own URL, it took you to this page that explained the Info Summit, and it started out with your own name on it. So this one is Hi Julie. Whatever name that's in your URL, it greets you, and it significantly increases response. Once again, this is a very smart strategy to use on every level, local level or else, on the national level, is using Pearls postcards. A bunch of the vendors here were offering Pearls, use of Pearls in direct mail, or else you can get your own software created, which you can also do your own Pearls with. The results of this is 35 responses we got from that in 23 days. We had a 31% open rate. 31% people actually went to the website, and we did an additional $87,778 in event registrations. This is one of my latest ones. We just tested this here for the first time. I really like this as well. This is a mailing that looks like somebody is sending you an invitation. So it's the RSVP mailing. And this is where we actually sent this out. And many of you, who here in the room got one of these? Who got one of these? Put your hands up high who got one of these. More of you had to get one of these because we mailed out like 150 of them to people that were in areas that we did not have an independent business advisor. But we were looking for an independent business advisor in your area. So if we already had an independent business advisor in your area and they were behaving themselves, we didn't mail it out into your area, okay? So if they were misbehaving, we probably also invited you. And this was an invitation to come to a special session which to find out about the independent business advisor opportunity. So when you get this in the mail, it looks like an invitation. So one of the biggest things you got to do in order to get results is you've got to get your mail open and read. And so when somebody looks at what you're being invited to, there's a much better chance that you will open and read it. So this is the front and back of that. And inside, it's a multi-page letter that's in there, printed in there. And in our particular case, we included an application. And $823.98 we spent on this. And as of yesterday morning, 5 new independent business advisors have signed up to become independent business advisors. So we have some results already. So this is a very smart strategy to be using as far as direct mail strategies. I'm going to talk to you a second or two about knowing your numbers. I want to talk to you about 2 things, actually. One of them is knowing your numbers, and another one is ways to sort of spice up some stuff. So what I did is I had my marketing department do a little research for me, and plans to come here, and I'll give you all an opportunity to sort of get this checklist of stuff. But a lot of people right now, during tough economic times, are looking for more cost-efficient ways to do things. So I showed you Alice Mishika's from Specialized Mailing thing that she does, which is very cost-effective. And all the vendors that we have out there, they're really terrific at figuring out cost-effective ways of doing things. But I just want to show you, like, if you do like a 1-page sales letter, front and back, for 1,000 of them, according to this, if I can read this, it's about 63 cents each to send them out. And that includes postage on there. Obviously, 5,000 of them, it's even less because the printing cost is lower. A 4x6 postcard, 1 color, that's 46 cents each to get out. So you really want to learn your numbers and the different kind of mailing formats that there are. And I'll give you all an opportunity in a few moments to sort of get this checklist to sort of help you with these. But you should look at these things because a lot of times they're not as costly as you think they are. But the other thing that you always want to remember is maximize your opportunity. So if you're mailing out a 1-ounce sales letter, make sure that that thing weighs almost an ounce. It's wasted real estate if you don't use all the weight you can use. So as I told you, you can get 4 pages usually in a letter, under an ounce. Why would you send out anything less than 4 pages if you can get 4 pages sent out? On a 4x9 postcard that you mail out, you can also mail out a 4x11-inch postcard for the same price as 4x9 inches. Why would you not use the other 2 inches? So you might as well print it to 4x11 if you're going to go to 4x9. So always figure out how can I maximize most I can use, because the most expensive part of anything in the direct mail is postage. So that's your barometer, is when does the postage increase? And so you want to go as much as you can to that desired postage amount. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. The other thing that you need to think about during these times is to spice up your offers. And I'm going to give you all a chance in just a second to sort of get a checklist of all kinds of different ways to sort of spice up your offers. There's a bunch of free samples, free subscription, money-back guarantees. I think there's another page of them, quantity limit, questionnaires, all these other things. You're looking for ways to spice up your offers. Has this been helpful to you? Has it been extremely helpful to you? Well, so has the superconference been valuable to you? So here's what I want you to do. Let me see. I got to put my glasses on because this is not my thing. Blank. I want you to come back next year. Okay? And I want you to make my job really easy for you to come back next year. Because if we get most of you to agree to come back next year, then I have now the confidence to go out and get extraordinary speakers for you like I did now for this particular year. So what I'm going to do right now, if you guys can actually just pass out forms, if you got forms anywhere, I'm going to pass out a form and I'm going to blatantly bribe you and give you an unbelievable offer to come back next year. It's sort of, let me tell you about it. You guys have forms to pass out? I don't even see our staff anywhere. Well, you know what? The hell with you all. You guys are fired, and you guys I don't want to see next year. All right. What happened to my extraordinary team? Well, not my. Okay, so you're gonna get in a second. These forms come back next year. Oh, this. I have some other stuff that I'm going to give you. What else I got here? Okay. So first of all, we had a lot of people that, because of our breakout sessions, a lot of people missed certain sessions because they were in other sessions. So the first thing I want to do is I want to give you an opportunity to register for the super conference at half price for next year, plus receive the CDs and DVDs of this year's super conference with that. And also get an unforgettable bonus day, which I'm going to tell you about in a second, for free, and also pay for it in 12 months. So let me explain to you sort of the two offers that I have for you. Here's option number one. Option number one is you can get just purchase the unedited CDs and DVDs. It's the CDs and DVDs of every event, every room that we had here of the super conference, plus I will give you a special manual of all my overheads that I just showed you here. So you'll get all my overheads that you're free to S&D. I'll give you my Spice Up Your Offer listing. I'll give you a special report on recession rescue strategies from Dan, and you can have all that. So one option is to do option number one for $597, or if you want, you can have that in 3 equal monthly payments of just $229. So if you do the single pay option, you'll save an additional $90. Or the one that you all really want is option number two. Yes, Bill, I know you don't have the event agenda finalized yet, but I'm smart enough to know I need to be there. So if you're smart enough to know you need to be there, then this is the option for you. I'm ready to reserve my spot at half price, so this is half price, to attend the Super Conference 2010 and receive the CDs and DVDs and manuals. So charge me now the $597 for those, which will be deducted from my half price registration fee. So you'll get the CDs and DVDs, and you'll get to come to the Super Conference next year for half price, plus I'll deduct the investment for this year's CDs and DVDs from your Super Conference 2010 registration. Also, I know that we're going to tell you in a second the dates of that. I think they're on that form that you have there, but you're protected by our 100% refund policy. So if you cancel your attendance to come here at least 30 days before the 2010 Super Conference, all you'll owe us for is the CDs and DVDs that you kept, and we'll refund your registration fee, because if something comes up and you're not quite sure now if you can be here next year with your dates, no problem. We'll just let us know and we'll refund your money. So, additional benefits. First of all, you'll get my rescue manual, my recession rescue manual. Everything I showed you here today, you'll get a manual of all that. Also, Dan Kennedy is doing a special evening session again next year. So if you liked what he did last night, you're going to last night was somewhat for entertainment purposes. However, I will tell you, last night there was a lot of big lessons that he shared with everybody. But next year is really important that you're there. Next year is not about entertainment at all. Next year is about the emerging new economy. See, by next year, we are already going to be turning into this emerging new economy, where the strong will have survived and the weak will have already sort of been gone. There will be less competitors for you, but the economy will not look like it looked before. And Dan's doing a talk next year on how to maximize Glazer Kenyon marketing in the emerging new economy. So by next year, we will be ready for that talk, and so that's what he's going to talk about. You also get a 12-month equalizer payment plan, so you only have the investment is very small between every month. The 100% refund policy, plus we're going to give you an unforgettable free bonus day next year. You want to know what that unforgettable free bonus day is? This is like the coolest thing we've ever done, okay? So Dan and I were chatting. We said, what do people really, really, really like? And what they really, really, really like is they love to see the competition for the market of the year because they get to see extraordinary stuff. So we're doing an expanded day next year on that. So it's the most amazing bonus ever. And it's free. It's a full day S&D showcase of the best of the brightest GKC members competing for the market of the year, but they're competing for the market of the year, but there's categories that they're also competing on. So for example, is B2B market of the year, the service business market of the year, the e-commerce market of the year, the professional practices market of the year, the retail marketer of the year, the sales professional marketer of the year. We had one retail marketer of the year. I'm going to compete against you, you sucker. The women marketer of the year we're going to have next year. The woman. Do we have a woohoo? All right, men only. Do we have a woohoo? Oh, yeah. Last time I ever do that. Women, one more time. Do we have a woohoo? Hey, women, raise your hand if you were in the women's only section yesterday. Was it great? Boy, did I hear great things about that. My wife, got back to the room last night. She fired my ass. So the woman market of the year. We're also going to have the husband and wife market of the year. Cool category next year. The husband and wife market of the year. You get to compete for that. We're also going to have the category that I'm most excited about. We're going to have the young entrepreneur market of the year. Where next year, we're going to encourage you to bring your kids between the age of 12 and 20, between the ages of 12 and 20, and they can, if they want to, they can show off what they're doing entrepreneur-wise, and they're going to have a contest next year, and those kids, 12 to 20, next year you bring your kids for free to the superconference, okay? We want them here, and we want them to show off what they're doing next year. So, and more, with a chance to write in your own category. So if you have a category that we missed, you write in the category, and if we think it's worthwhile, it's next year, the whole bonus day is the biggest show and tell of Glaser Kennedy marketing you've ever seen, and you all will vote. After you see it all, you'll vote for the Glaser Kennedy marketer of the year next year that we'll decide at the end of the day. It's going to be a great day next year. So they're all competing for this. So here's the deal. So you pick out whatever level you have. You got to turn this in before you leave here in order to get this. And you pick out whatever level you are. You see what happens is you get it for half price registration, number one. Then we deduct the investment that you're investing in the CDs and DVDs, so you see what your net is. And then you can see what actually your monthly investment is for your next 12 months. You can also upgrade your membership if you want to Diamond and get the lower registration fee. On the back of the form shows you all the Diamond benefits if you're a Gold member. So if you want to join the elite of the elite, be on calls with Dan and I every month for 12 months where we go over important Diamond member topic, as well as you get a chance to ask Dan your specific questions each month to us on the calls. Then you also ought to upgrade to Diamond membership. You can bring with you a maximum of 2 people with you, as long as they are your spouse, significant other, W-2 employee, or 1099 associate. If they are your spouse or significant other, we will have staff going around next year doing bed checks to prove that they are spouses or significant. I'm kidding. So there's an additional fee of just $497 each for them. By the way, I'm pretty sure next year we're going to have a women's only track again. So you want to bring, if you're a man in the room, you want to bring your wife with your significant other. If you're a woman in the room, you may or may not want to bring your husband, but bring your husband and we'll train him while you're out getting the women's only track. So $497 each just for them. If you want, although you get your additional bonus day for free, if you want to bring somebody to the additional bonus day, that's just $197 as a guest. Yours is no additional fee. And put your children on there. If you want to bring your children next year, they are free. Okay, if you don't have children between the age of 12 and 20, you have a year to adopt. Go out and get them and put them on there and bring them with you. And we'll get them started the right way with learning how to be smart, effective marketers. I promise you between now and then I'll clean up my language. So you won't hear as much out of me as you hear today. So put them on there for free. The additional children attending the bonus day, they're free to come to the bonus day. No charge for kids. So if you want your kids to come to the bonus day, put their names on there as well. No additional charge for them to come to the bonus day. If you want to prepay, we'll deduct the amount of one monthly payment. So if you want to prepay, you will prepay now, deduct the amount of one monthly payment if you're so sure that this is a smart decision for you and you want to save the most amount of money you possibly can. Of course, you still have up to 30 days to cancel, or we would send you back your money. Or if you want to, just keep it in the 12 equal monthly payments throughout. So that's everything. We are going to take a break. Please do me a favor before you get up from your seats. Fill out that form. Make it easy for me to know that we're going to have a big super conference next year. Turn it into the back of the room. And then at 10 o'clock, Miss Alexandria Brown, a woman of influence. Okay?